Ladies and gentlemen, I was once working at a financial firm in New York City, surrounded by some of the smartest people I'd ever met. My boss was brilliant, someone I deeply admired. One day I went to him and said, "I'm going to start a company selling books on the internet." He took me on a long walk through Central Park, listening carefully. Finally, he said, "That sounds like a great idea, but it would be an even better idea for someone who didn't already have a good job." You see, you can have a job, a career, or a calling. If you can figure out how to have a calling, you've hit the jackpot, because that's the big deal. I met Jeff Bezos 25 years ago. He told me, "Dave, I want you to invest in my company. I'm going to start a bookstore in my garage, put it online, and ship books to people. Someday I'm going to be the richest man in the world, making over $100 billion. At the time, $100 billion was unimaginable. Countries didn't have that kind of money. Our national debt wasn't even $100 billion. Here was this 26-year-old telling me he'd become the richest man in the world with his garage and the internet. But that was his truth. While I laughed and scoffed, he believed in himself, applauding his vision and determination. Do something you're passionate about. Don't chase what's merely the hot trend of the day. It's a difficult choice, but ultimately I decided I had to give it a shot. I didn't think I'd regret trying and failing. However, I knew I'd always be haunted by a decision to not try at all. So I took the less safe path to follow my passion, and I'm proud of that choice. As a young boy, I was a garage inventor. I invented an automatic gate closer from cement-filled tires, a solar cooker that didn't work well, and alarms to trap my siblings. I always wanted to be an inventor. Following my passion felt right. There's a military phrase, "One love slow is smooth." And smooth is fast. I've seen this truth in every endeavor I've undertaken. Progress comes from careful, deliberate actions. In life, you receive certain gifts. Use them wisely. But more importantly, be proud not of your gifts, but of your hard work and choices. Gifts are given to you. They're not your own achievements. You might be good at math, tall, or beautiful. But practicing your skills, taking them to the next level, that's what requires effort. That's a choice. And those choices are what you can be proud of. We all get to choose our life stories. It's our choices that define us, not our gifts. Everyone in this room has many gifts. You can't be proud of them because they're gifts. However, you can be proud of your choices because they reflect your actions. One of the most important choices we each have is deciding between a life of ease and comfort or a life of service and adventure. When you're 80, which path do you think you'll be more proud of? You'll be more proud of having chosen a life of service and adventure. There's never been a better time to be alive. The world is filled with inspiration, change, invention, and opportunity. Your life, the life you author from scratch on your own, begins now. How will you use your gifts? What choices will you make? Will inertia be your guide, or will you follow your passions? Will you follow dogma, or will you be original? Will you choose a life of ease, or a life of service and adventure? Will you wilt under criticism, or follow your convictions? Will you bluff when you're wrong, or will you apologize? Will you guard your heart against rejection, or act when you fall in love? Will you play it safe, or be a little swashbuckler? When it's tough, will you give up, or will you be relentless? Will you be a cynic, or will you be a builder? Will you be clever at the expense of others, or will you be kind? Every time you provide tools and services that empower others to deploy their creativity, you're onto something great. You're lucky if you have a career. Many people end up with just a job. If you don't love your work, you'll never be great at it. Jules Verne, Mark Twain, Galileo, Newton, all the curious minds from the ages would have wanted to be alive most of all right now. As a civilization, we have so many gifts. Just as you, as individuals, have many gifts sitting before me today. How you use these gifts, will you take pride in your gifts or pride in your choices? Thank you.